Why your erections are not as strong as they used to be. If your erections are not as strong as they used to be, you are not alone. Most men immediately assume this must be a testosterone problem, but in many cases, hormones are not the main reason erections change. There's another part of the body involved that many men rarely hear about it or understand about it, and that is your pelvic floor. When we hear this, it may sound alien because we can straight go into what is a pelvic floor. In this video, I want to explain why erections change over time, how the pelvic floor plays a role, and what you can actually do to improve erectile function. Many men begin notice these changes quite gradually. Maybe erections take a little longer to come up. Maybe they feel slightly softer and then stronger. Or maybe they start strong but don't last the way they used to. When that happens repeatedly, it can create anxiety, and anxiety itself can make erections harder to maintain because it hits your brain, you will get anxious, and then performance will fail. But erections are not controlled by only one system. They depend on blood flow, they depend on nerve signaling, they depend on nervous system being very relaxed, in a very relaxed state. And they depend on the pelvic floor muscles. The pelvic floor is a group of muscles located at the base of the pelvis. These muscles support the bladder, the bowel, and they play an important role in a sexual function. Sex is very athletic, is not dependent only on one or two or three muscles. It depends on a lot of muscles involved, but particularly two are involved on erections. And you may have heard these muscles, the name of these muscles before, the bulbospongiosus and the ischiocavernosus. They sit at the base of your pelvis. And when an erection occurs, blood flows into the erectile tissues of the penis. But maintaining that erection requires keeping blood trapped into the penis. This process is called the veno-occlusive mechanism. The pelvic floor muscles assist this process by compressing the vein that drains blood away from the penis, so it stops blood going. Research has shown that pelvic floor muscles training can significantly improve erectile function in some men. A clinical trial published in a major urology journal showed that pelvic floor exercise combined with lifestyle changes improve erectile function in a significant number of men with erectile dysfunction. But weakness is not the only possible issue. In many men, the pelvic floor muscles are actually too tight. And when these muscles remain tense or chronically tense, they can intervene and interfere with normal blood flow and nerve signaling into the pelvic region. This can affect erection quality as well. So erectile function is also closely connected to cardiovascular function, so the health of your heart. Several studies have shown that erectile dysfunction can sometimes appear years before cardiovascular disease become apparent, because the blood vessels supplying the penis are smaller and more sensitive to circulation changes. So if erection quality changes significantly or suddenly, it's always worth discussing with a healthcare professional. In many cases, the contributing factors are lifestyle, stress, sleeping, or pelvic floor dysfunction. But occasionally, erections can reflect underlying vascular health, which is why proper assessment can be important. Pelvic physiotherapy focuses on assessing how the pelvic floor muscles functioning. We evaluate whether the muscles are weak, overactive, or poorly coordinated. We also assess breathing pattern, posture, hip mobility, because the diaphragm and the pelvis work together. And if we think the pelvis, the hip, and the lower back are very close connected to the pelvic region. So lifestyle factors also play a massive important role. Cardiovascular exercise improves blood flow vessels health, sleep supports hormone regulation and nervous system balance. Stress management helps the body stay in a state of supportive sexual function. The key message here is that erections often reflect overall health. They give us information about circulation, nervous system balance, muscular coordination, and lifestyle habits. So, if erections are changing, it's worth paying attention to that signal. In many cases, when the contributing factors are addressed, erectile function improves significantly. If you want to learn more about how the pelvic floor health affects your erection and men's health, please subscribe.